Welcome to part 4 of our Dying Light 2 Stay Human Developer Tools Guide. In this video, we'll demonstrate tools for editing terrain. We finished working on the example map. Let's click on the Techland logo and create a fresh new map. Choose New Map. Now write the name and click OK. Let's wait a bit. We didn't save the progress from our example map, so now let's click Save All. And now we have a completely empty, fresh new map. Rotate your camera, and now, as you can see, we have just some plain dummy box and also the blue flag of the map start. So it's obvious we need some terrain. To add new terrain, jump to Windows and choose Terrain. Now we've opened a window that will allow us to add and edit our terrain. The red dot with the arrow shows our current position and the direction we're looking at. You can also see a grid of our map divided into blocks where you can add terrain. Let's add a few terrain blocks in front of us by holding down the left mouse button and selecting them. Once they are selected, right-click and select Create. Now, as you can see, our terrain has appeared. To edit terrain, you can use quite a few tools available to us here in the Brushes category. But before that, I recommend adding a sequence actor from the prefab browser on your map to help you feel the scale. Let's jump to the prefab browser, choose Prefabs, and write Sequence here. Now choose the sequence movie actor and place it somewhere on the edge of the map. Let's click the selection tool and also rotate it a little. Zoom in and zoom out to see it better. Now open the terrain window. The first tool we can use is called Raise Lower Terrain. It does just that. Let's click on this, and by moving your mouse to the viewport, now you can raise and lower the terrain by moving the mouse up and down while holding the left mouse button. You can change the editing brush to suit our needs by changing its type, size, power, and more. Let's write a different value in size, maybe 15. And now let's add another mountain. As you can see, the size is much bigger. The same options are available for most of the remaining tools. The second tool is Raise Lower Terrain Paint version. You do the same thing but in a slightly different way. Let's zoom out a little. And now, by moving the mouse by holding the left mouse button, we can paint our raised level. If you want to apply our higher value to the terrain again, release the left mouse button and start the process again. By holding the Control key on your keyboard, you can lower your terrain. The third tool is Pick Set Height, allowing us to level the terrain to a selected height. Write the value we want in height, maybe 25, and choose the size, maybe 30. Now let's zoom out a little and click on the terrain. And just like that, our mountain appears. You can also use the existing terrain's value by holding Ctrl and clicking a spot on the terrain. The spot's value will be automatically input into the height field. The next tool is called the Smooth tool. It's used to, well, smooth the terrain. It allows us to eliminate any rough edges or overly steep slopes. Press on this tool, change the size, maybe to 15, and now, let's smooth this mountain. Let's select the terrain window and choose the next tool. This tool, called Ramp, allows us to create terrain-based ramps between two set points. Essentially, it enables us to create accessible paths to higher portions of the map. First, input the desired width of the ramp and the size value, maybe 7. To create the ramp, click and hold the left mouse button on the desired start of the ramp. Drag it over the final point and then release the button. Our ramp has been created. The next tool is Material Painting, which allows us to paint our terrain. By default, we don't have any prepared terrain layers to use. Let's create one. To create new terrain layers, click on the Terrain Layers icon. Then, let's click the Add Material icon. Let's name it Forest. Now we're going to need to set the texture to base and also the detail texture. For the base texture, let's click these 3 dots next to the diffuse name and write Forest here. Now choose the variant with base in the name. Open. Repeat the process for the other 3 texture modifiers. And for the detail texture, we can mix, for example, forest with grass, but for this tutorial, we're going to stay with the forest one. So let's click 3 dots for diffuse and choose forest, but with detail in the name. Let's click OK and do it 4 times more. I don't want to include depth in my texture, for example, so let's click Reset to Default. Now we can adjust how we want the material to behave. I will change the multiplier to 2 to have a smaller scale and more detailed texture. I will change blending to 8 to help it blend with other textures. And let's change surface type to grass so that we can have the correct sound effects when the player walks on this texture, and click OK. So now we've created our first material. Let's quickly create 2 more. Let's click once again the plus icon, write grass here, and now I'm going to choose the grass texture for the base and also the grass texture for the detail 1, but with detail in the name. And I'll revert the depth, also change the multiplier to 2, blending the same to 8, and also change surface type to the grass one and choose OK. Let's add a third one. Click the plus icon and name it rock. And now let's write soil and choose the first one. And for the detail texture, I'm going to write rock and choose detail rock. And also for the depth, I'm going to revert that, change the multiplier to 2, blending to 8 as before, and for the surface, I'm going to change to stone and click OK. Now we need to add our new terrain layers. By default, we have the first version, so let's rename it by clicking the right mouse button and changing its name to Forest Rock. And add one more by clicking this plus icon next to the other layer and rename it to Grass. Now we need to define the material for these texture layers. You can define the look of the top and side layers. This is especially useful when creating realistic-looking slopes. For the forest rock, let's choose for the top the forest texture. And now as you can see, the slopes are visible on our map. To add a different texture for these slopes, let's select our side and choose the rock texture. Now for these slopes, we're currently using the rock texture. For the grass one, let's select just grass for the side and also for the top. Now let's close this window. To paint our terrain, let's select the texture you want to use, and now by using the left mouse button, you can paint your texture on the map. As before, you can change the size, rotation, power, height, and different values in the attributes window. Let's change size to 15, and now, as you can see, we have a larger brush to paint with. Let's also come back to our mountain and choose Raise Lower Terrain. Now the slopes will be automatically generated. So when you're going to change your terrain, the slopes with the rock on the side will appear. The last tool we're going to demonstrate now is Remove Vertices. It allows us to cut holes in the terrain. Let's change size to 2, and now by clicking the left mouse button, paint on the terrain you want to delete. This red color shows us which part of the terrain is going to be deleted. After we finish editing our terrain, we need to save it. To do that, let's click the right mouse button on our terrain in the terrain window and choose Lock. Now as you can see, all of our changes have been applied. We have our hole in the mountain and also our textures, including the rock one. You can always come back to add additional edits to your terrain by once more unlocking the terrain. Let's unlock it, choose Raise Lower, and now paint some additional mountains. After some changes, just click Lock on your terrain. The new changes will be applied to the terrain. Before we play our map, let's add water to our map. Jump to the prefab browser. And now, when choosing the prefabs category, write Waterbox in the search bar. Choose Waterbox Prefab and place it on our map. Choose the selection tool, zoom out the camera a bit, and place it on your river. Now, by using the scale option, let's scale this pretty much to cover our whole river and map. Let's choose the selection tool and move it down to cover just the river. So now, we added our water. Now, let's open the scene window. We need to move our water box to level. So as we've learned before, after moving the water box to level, it's going to be visible in our game. Let's open and set as target our level, click on the water box, and by holding and moving, let's move it to level. And also select our dummy box plane and press delete on your keyboard. Let's also select Map Start and move it around to the start of our map. With that, our map will start at this point. Also, this dummy box will no longer be visible because we don't need it. Now, to save our changes, let's choose Level and click Save and Reload. It's a completely new map, so it's good to build it before playing. Let's choose Validate and Build. Choose Build and select all options. Now let's click OK. Our build is successful. Click OK and let's check how it works in the game. Choose the play icon and now Yes to save our progress. Our map is loaded. Everything seems to be working fine. We have our grass texture, forest texture, we have our rock texture, we've got our hole in the mountain. In that case, let's check if we have the water. As you can see, the water is also here, so everything's working fine. And that's all for part 4. In the next video, we'll explain how you can add enemies to your map. Thanks for watching.